Imagine what could happen if knowledgeable pro-family voters showed up in November. CitizenLink is working on a massive project to identify, inform, and motivate people like us in key states. You can help. Go to citizenlink.com and click on the banner. When pro-family voters have trustworthy information about where candidates stand on issues, they are more likely to go vote. So guess what we're doing? This is the CitizenLink Report. I'm Stuart Shepard, along with John Poulton, who's working with our massive voter notification, information, motivation, whatever you want to call it, project. Hi, John.
Hey, Stuart.
Before we get started, we do want to take a moment and encourage you to pray for the men and women in uniform who are putting themselves in harm's way today. We just want them to know that we're encouraging them and also that we are praying for them, and just want to say thank you for your service. We do appreciate it. Mm-hmm. John, let's talk about the election. You've been working on motivating people to vote. Give us an update on how that's going so far.
Well, it's going very well. As we've shared here before, we're working in 9 states, from Alaska to Florida, also Colorado, Iowa, Arkansas, Louisiana, Michigan, North Carolina, West Virginia.
Yeah.
A lot of states. We've got field staff in most of those states, making lots of phone calls, going door to door, talking to people, finding out where they stand on the issues, which really helps us as we communicate with voters. It's going very well. In fact, we're just about to reach 2 million phone calls made or doors knocked upon so far, with a lot more to come.
Now, it's popular during election seasons for people on the other side of anything to say, oh, people are coming in from outside of our state and doing whatever. We want to make clear we are working very closely with our family policy councils who are in those states, and they are getting volunteers in those states to make these phone calls.
Absolutely. We absolutely could not do this work without our family policy councils. They're just they're tremendous partners to work with on this.
Now, you've brought some examples of what we're sending out to people and going to be sending out in other places shortly. Tell us what does this tell people, and what do you hope to do? What's the goal of sending this out?
Yeah, right. We're sending out a series of mailers. This is one that's in Colorado specifically. It's comparing and contrasting the Senate candidates, showing people where they stand on, in this case, abortion funding, taxpayer funding for abortions. In this particular case, Mark Udall has been a consistent supporter of taxpayer funding of abortions. He, of course, cast, along with others, the deciding vote for Obamacare, which has also continued to even expand abortion funding. Cory Gardner, on the other hand, has been a consistent opponent of such funding. We're just trying to spell that out and make it clear for people so they know the facts on this issue.
And it's interesting because we have historical evidence to show that when you present pro-family voters with a clear and trustworthy source, a reliable source of information that shows here's where they stand on the issues that you care about, people then are more likely to actually go to the polls. And in a midterm election, that's a significant thing.
That's right. It really empowers people when they feel like they really know the facts. And we are speaking to people that tend to agree with a pro-life position, for example, but not all of them know where the candidates stand. The media certainly doesn't talk about it much.
Well, and that's an interesting thing. I think a lot of this, the fact that we have to send this out to help people understand where they stand, shows a failure of the mainstream media. We often think because they don't want people to know where the candidates are on issues like abortion and the redefinition of marriage, because they want to protect a particular side of the issue. Is that what you're saying as well?
Well, that's certainly part of it. And then the politicians don't help the matter as well. Even conservative politicians, pro-life politicians, are often told by their consultants well, it's fine for you to hold those beliefs, fine for you to vote pro-life, but don't talk about it. And often they abide by that. They don't talk about it much.
And to be clear, we wish they would.
We wish they would, absolutely. But if they're not talking about it, and if they feel like maybe that's a political reality that they shouldn't dwell on it, it's up to groups like us to make sure people know where the candidates stand.
Now, how can people support this effort? Where can they get connected with the state family policy councils and or donate to the project overall?
Sure. Well, they can go to citizenlink.com and go to the state page with the FPCs listed, the family policy councils listed that are involved in this effort, and contact those FPCs in those states that we mentioned. They can also and volunteer and get involved in those phone calling, those door-to-door efforts. It's very important. and it's enjoyable. Most volunteers, once they actually start doing it, find it's really rewarding and enjoyable, and they know they're making a difference. They can also support CitizenLink. It's costly to send out these mailers. We do need people's financial support. We're making tough decisions right now. How deep can we go? How many mailings can we send out? And people's financial support, even if it's just $5, $10, $25, really does make a difference.
Now, it's costly in the large scale, but it's very cost efficient when it comes down to the people that we're actually reaching, because we're using so many volunteers and doing this as cleanly as we can.
Absolutely. The bang for the buck on this project is tremendous. It just becomes costly because there are so many people to reach.
Yeah.
But with a small investment, it's amazing the number of people that can be reached with this material.
I want to give you a chance to reach people right now. I'm going to have you look into the camera and give your encouragement for people to find out where candidates stand and to get out to vote in November.
Well, this is just such a crucial election. We're already looking ahead to 2016 and realizing the opportunities there are very limited compared to what's happening right now. This is an enormous opportunity election for us. We've got to get involved. We've got to find out where the candidates stand, and we've certainly got to get out and vote.
All right. John, thanks for your work. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. We appreciate hearing from you. You may always write to us at mail@citizenlink.com. And again, if you'd like to learn more about this project or to contribute to it, just go to citizenlink.com, and there's a banner at the top of the page that will take you right to that. Remember to pray for the voters of America, that they would find the candidates who resonate with their values and that they would get out to vote this fall. And remember, stand tall and be heard.